Hey everybody, long time no see. We're here with another 10-minute Marvel video, and I'm hoping to be able to get in some more of these. Definitely will be a number of them coming up soon because the collab between Marvel and Magic the Gathering has happened. Well, the second collab, this one being the full superhero set that we're getting. The first being the Spider-Man set that we got. Now, the Spider-Man set didn't do all that well. Some of that, just kind of the inside baseball there, is that with the Fantastic Four set, not Fantastic Four, Final Fantasy set, doing as well as it did, they made the decision to pivot the Spider-Man set away from just being commander decks, so decks for one format of play, into being a whole set where you can buy booster boxes of it, things like that. And because of that tighter timeline, that didn't pan out, I don't think, as they had hoped it would. This, on the other hand, was always meant to be a full set. And we're getting commander decks, we're getting booster boxes, have booster boxes on the way, booster box on the way, art, like scene things. I opened up those for the Spider-Man set. We'll be doing the same eventually here. But we have these collector booster boxes. Now, before I look at anything here, just to give you an idea, if I go to TCG Player, that's where I get all my pricing and stuff from now. And I go to Magic the Gathering, here, Marvel Superheroes. This is where I've ordered stuff from. Shop this set. I always like to just kind of go high to low. So there is basically the Mind Stone. So we had the Soul Stone from the Spider-Man set. That was a very expensive card. Now the Mind Stone itself, this not the most expensive version of the Mind Stone, but the one with Thanos on it. So there's an unknown quantity of this other version of it that the Soul Stone, I think, goes for like $30,000 because you don't know how many there are of it really ever going to be out there in the world. Now, it could have been higher had the Spider-Man set done well. They had done massive reprints of stuff. And so who knows how it's going to be with the Mind Stone here, but the Mind Stone's about $1,500 in the Thanos form. And TCG Player doesn't have any listings for the higher end version of the card just because it is going to be that much higher in terms of cost. You're not going to sell a $30,000 card on TCG Player, Golden or GOLDIN, or eBay are going to be your spots for selling that if you're not selling it in person. But I have one collector's pack I picked up from a local game store today. I have another one coming from a seller on TCG Player. Let's see what I can get between those two. We're going to start up here with Super Suit Flash. When this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. So a good way to sneak something in, especially since it's blue. Blue tends to want to leave the ability to play cards open. So sneak in this Los Diablos Missile Base. This is a land. So these are going to be the not so crazy cards here. Visions of Villainy. This spell costs 1 less to cast. If you control a villain, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. For 1/2, that's not too bad. Johnny Mayonnaise here, U.S. Agent John Walker. When US Agent enters, create a colorless equipment artifact named Sturdy Shield with equip creature gets +1/+2, equip costs 2, attached to US Agent. So, very similar to actually that super suit that we saw. This one, John Walker just makes it and equips it to himself immediately. Hulkling. Burgeoning Bruiser. Vigilance. That means if he attacks, he can still be used on defense. Whenever another creature you control, couldn't read that there, enters, if its power and toughness, if it has greater power or toughness than Hulkling, put a +1/+1 counter on Hulkling. That's not bad. Hulkling just comes in as a 2/3. So, like, if you can play John Walker and get a +1 counter on Hulkling. Quantum Reduction. Teamwork 2. You can tap up to 2 creatures. In addition, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may tap any number of creatures you control with total power 2 or more. You may cast this spell as though it had flash if you're using Teamwork. Enchanted creature gets -5/-0. Basically, this is a way to nerf somebody's attack. Think twice, draw a card. Flashback ability allows you to draw it again. Very nice. Kang the Conqueror there for the artwork. Trying to tuck the cards back in so we don't spoil anything. Ant-Man's Air Force. Flying. Whenever a creature attacks, or this creature attacks, up to 1, target creature gets -1/-0 until end of turn. The reason for the up to 1 is if your opponents don't have any creatures, you aren't forced to use it on yourself. Hulk Smash. Teamwork 4. Tap the power. If you do Teamwork, you get to do both of them. Destroy target non-creature artifact. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Nice little removal there. Then we have our forest here. Looks like Black Panther there in the background. And now we're moving out of the common cards. Loki, Lord of Misrule. Pay a blue, tap it. Choose target creature you control. Each creature you control other than the chosen creature becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only at sorcery speed. Now, why this matters? So, let's just call out one of the most important, not one of the most important, creature from Magic the Gathering, which is Stormcrow. Stormcrow, I believe, is a 2/1 flying blue creature. You can make all your creatures 2/1 flyers, and that's not that good. Like, okay. But if your opponent has no way to block flying and you have 10 creatures, that's 20 damage you can throw through just for that turn. We have Invisible Force Field. Instant up to 4 target permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. And Rebound. So that is a really nice card. I like that one a lot. Good artwork on that too. And only costs 2. So indestructible, always nice. Black Widow, Intel Expert. First strike. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to your opponent, you and that player each draw 2 cards. Interesting. So it's beneficial to you, but it's also beneficial to your opponent, but at the cost of life for them. I like that a lot. All right, then we have Anthem of Champions, Enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. I believe that this would be a card that already existed. Then we have Leader Super Genius. So the leader, we have a villain card here. If a creature you control would connive, instead you draw a card and then that creature connives. I don't know what connives is. That's a keyword I don't know from when I played it a while ago. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, target creature you control connives. And then we have our token to end it up here, treasure and villain. Now, I could just wrap it up here, but I paid $40 for this. Let's do the math. I'm not going to go through every card in here, like the token, not worth doing. But let's look at Leader Super Genius. Leader Super Genius. Foil. Looks like this is a market price currently for this card. Whoa, that was interesting. Didn't lose power to the computer at all. Of 78 cents. Anthem of Champions. Interesting. Anthem of Champions is this borderless. Yes. So this is a 50-cent card. So I'm about $1.25 in here. I guess the foil is a $3 card. So I should check actually with this one. Foil's 88-cent card, so I'm about $4. $4 in. Black Widow. Intel Expert. Now this one isn't foil. So $2. So about $6 in here. Invisible Force Field. I'm curious about that one because that one does seem like it has where is Invisible Force Field? Nope. Don't want that one. Force Field. This is just the extended art version here. $4.50. So again, I spent about $40 on this. I'm about $12 here. And the final one I would look up here is Loki, Lord of Mischief, or Lord of Misrule. And now this one is foil, but not the extended art. $58. So prices right now are dropping on everything. This started at, when it first hit the market, at 63, but it's been a week since the pre-release went out. This is going to now be relatively steady. So I made my money back on this. I am just going to look up one last card here. The Hulk Smash. Just because that one is extended artwork. But I don't expect that one to be worth that much. Hulk Smash. Hulk Smash. Borderless. Yep. Foil, 25 cents. So, needless to say, I made my money back, but simply because of this one card here. And I didn't get the big hit of the Mind Stone that you're really looking for in this set. Let me know what you think of this set. Are you a Magic the Gathering player, or are you interested in Magic the Gathering because of the fact that Marvel is now attached to it? Obviously, we're on the 10-Minute Marvel YouTube channel. So let me know that down in the comment section below. I appreciate everybody checking out these videos and the podcast episodes when we come out. I know we didn't have an episode last week. Didn't work out with vacation and Father's Day weekend, but we'll be back this week talking Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh, yes, it is. As well as then getting ready for X-Men 97. If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe to the channel, and check out the podcast. You can find the podcast here on YouTube by clicking onto the channel, subscribe, like I mentioned already, and then click on the podcast tab. Or you can find the podcast wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.